Okay. So I don't know whether to call this, I guess I'll call it a tool or a technique, healing modality. Um, I recently got this really cool download of a way to pull us out of our pain and plug us back into our true nature, who we really are beyond our programs and patterns and all of that fun stuff. And so I'll share with you what it is, and then I'll explain it, and then we'll do it in the meditation. Um, so it's really simple. It first started off as the words, no thank you. And you can write this down if you want. It's been my saving grace. Uh, no thank you. Whenever an old pattern comes into your mind, and you know it's an old pattern because you've heard it before. Now, it is going to seem so invisible to you and so real. And so, no, this is real, Jamie, because it's going to be this perfect storm of energy. And you've had it your whole life, and it's been passed down to you, and everyone out there is doing it. It's going to feel really intense. But just because it's intense doesn't mean that it's real or true. So an old pattern comes, a fear, a neediness, a desperation, an addiction, whatever it is that's happening in here. And what normally happens is we collapse in on it because it's invisible to us. It's unconscious, not our fault, right? And then we move forward with it. And it creates the same reality over and over and over and over and over and over again. But we can become radically aware. And we can say to ourselves in 2021, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm a free spirit. I'm a soul who came here for a reason. I'm not the pain of those that came before me. Yes, I have habits and addictions. Yes, I have anxiety and depression. Yes, I have issues like every other human being. But that isn't who my heart is. That isn't who my soul is. And I want to get to know him. I want to get to know her in 2021. And so it takes a bit of bravery. It does. Because our brain, not us, we're not comfortable. Our brain is comfortable in the known. And it would rather know all the pain, all the bullcrap. It would rather know that than just open our mind to who we could possibly be and the peace and the comfort that resides inside of us, regardless of how many years we've been in the trash inside of our head and carried away. It's what's normal to us, the way that we feel, not what's natural. What's natural is relief, is a calm nervous system, is potential, is peace. So bear with me here, because some of you in your minds, which I get it, when people said this to me, I'm like, huh? I'm going to hold space for you that that's a possibility. So the old comes, we become aware of it, and it's subtle and it's sneaky and it's so familiar. We don't want to say no thank you, but we say, no, thank you. That's it. Try it today. It'll change your day. You know, you're getting angry and you're feeling like a victim or whatever it is your brain likes to do to try to keep you safe, which it never really does. You'll notice there's no finish line there ever. Say, no thanks. No thanks. And then it just goes. And then it'll come back 20 times that day. No thanks. Good. No thanks. So you can extend upon this, because our defense mechanisms, because of the trauma we experienced when we were young, are there to keep us safe. They did a great job at some times. So we don't want to say no thanks as in screw you, you a-hole. Oh my God, here I am again doing this thing. I'll never amount to anything. My brain is jacked. We don't want to come at it with that, because this is a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 7-year-old inside of you, right? At that level, that's scared or sad or in pain and is programmed in your brain to try to keep you from feeling that pain again. So if we understand that's what these habitual patterns are, programs to try to keep us from our pain, then we can add in the other word, hey, thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. Because I'm an adult now and I got this and I want to know my potential and my soul and not the pain of those that came before me. I'm kind of tired of that. And I'm going to be a little brave in 2021 to get to know the good parts and the vibrant parts of me, because I'm kind of curious. I got one life. So thanks. So here comes the shame. Here comes the fear. It's going to feel fierce. right? It's going to feel old and familiar, and it's going to want to take your ass down, you know? I know this because I'm human too. Thank you, because I know you're trying to keep me safe, so thank you. But no thanks. So you can either stick with no thanks as things come, because that's what I've shortened it down to. But if you want to go thank you, no thank you, okay? Because we want to come at it with love. And then our minds, because then we go, nah, I don't want that old thing that's coming into my brain. We're always focusing on our internal world when I'm speaking right now, not your external, because you're in charge of your ship. So we say, thank you, no thank you. And then sometimes our brain, I know we've talked about this before, is afraid, because then there's this wide open space of the unknown, and we're going, oh shit, like what? I don't know who else lives here. I've been in this habit and this defense mechanism my whole life. And because we're so uncomfortable in the unknown, our brain wants to jump back in to that familiar fear, that familiar shame, that familiar habit, because again, it feels safer knowing than not knowing. So the way we bypass that is thanks, but no thanks. I don't want that anymore because I'm in charge, and it's just a thought. It's a thought I've known my whole life in who I am. And then we open our minds to, I wonder what true me would feel right now or think right now. Like real you, unprogrammed you that came in before the programs of the influences around you. Because there is a true you in there that has desires and rights and likes and passions and dreams and a purpose, right? That's not, the programs aren't that. So thanks, no thanks. And I wonder, so it opens our mind up. We don't even need to give ourselves an answer of, I am peaceful, I am this, and put something in there. We're opening up our minds to show us, so that maybe a new thought comes in that feels more peaceful or feels more loving or feels more clear. We have a solution we never saw before. So instead of needing to jump into fear again of, oh my God, I don't know. I wonder. Like, I wonder what will be revealed to me when I block this neural pathway that's been going my whole life. I wonder what's on the other side of that. So take these 3 sentences with you wherever you go to create a new reality for yourself. Pain comes in, thanks, but no thanks. And I wonder what's on the other side of this. I wonder who I really am. And then that can come through. Okay, so it's how to rewire your entire experience of life. Enjoy. All right, so let's meditate on that. So go ahead, pop your music on if you want. Take a couple deep breaths. And have fun with this. There will be stuff inside of you that is so familiar. Like for me, it's this tiny little pieces of insecurity when I teach that are just there. And I'm like, no thanks. I don't want that anymore. No thanks. Right? And it goes. And then you feel this, like, it will be replaced with this lightness of being you haven't felt in years. And you'll be like, oh, wow, that's me. That's my birthright. That's my true nature. That exists. They don't tell us that. So my wish for you is that you know there's another side to that. Maybe you already know, but if you don't, I'm here to remind you and help point the way. All right, get settled into your space. Let's just relax. It's been a big year of a lot of things, and it's winding down, and we can press the pause button and we can open up our mind to new intentions and healing. So take a couple deep breaths. Let everything go. Breathe down into the belly, up into the chest. Let it release. Congratulate yourself for showing up to meditate today. And as you settle in, as always, just starting to really feel that physical connection between your body and the ground. All those tiny points of contact. Breathe and let go. I think the greatest thing I probably have learned in the last 8 years, well, I've learned a lot of great things, but one of the greatest things is that we have choice. We have choice. And it can look like these fierce old patterns have us, but there is always the observer, there is always us. And we can say, no, that's not what I want to create anymore. We're not in denial. We're not suppressing it. We can still feel it. But we're letting it wear itself out. And we are the creator, and we're choosing something different for ourselves. I don't want that which was passed down to me, collective fears. I'm here to be the brave one, to put an end to this, to switch the trajectory of my life and the lives of those around me, to bring more light to the planet. And I do that by saying no thanks. Hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for keeping me safe, and no thanks. So you breathe and let go one layer deeper. Feel that body on the ground, on the furniture. Let yourself settle in and make your way into this moment with me. Let go of work. Let go of what came before and what's coming after. Just my voice, just your presence, just this container. Deep breaths as you relax the physical body now. The face softens and the eyes soften. Shoulders relax, chest relaxes. Belly relaxes. Let those hips and legs spill down as if you're floating on a raft. As if you're in zero gravity and your body is just fully supported and lightweight and floaty. Your muscles and bones take a moment off and you give yourself permission to slow down, to meet that tired soul that's trying so hard, to let that little one know they're enough as they are, unconditionally lovable. Growing up in a world that teaches conditions, confusing the brain, confusing the heart, we let that go today. We begin to become the observer of the pain and open up to our soul, our truth, our purpose, our passion, and bypass all the thoughts that say that isn't real. Who cares if I'm the only one living this gloriously soul-led life? I get to be free. I get to be happy. I get to show others what is possible on this planet. You have a big mission. Relaxing the body, exhaling, letting go of the pain, intending I release that which is not mine. I am not the pain of those that came before me. I let it release now. Draining down into the earth as you let go. My intention is to come into my own light, my own soul, my own truth. And I have a tool to find my way back home. And all you have to do now, just for this next moment, is to let your body float, to let your eyes relax, to let yourself slow down to this moment in time, to let yourself be enough, to let go of trying so hard. Breathe and to settle a little bit deeper within to the power of your healing, to the power of your potential, and to the power of your light. One inhale, one exhale, one layer deeper. And as you settle in, beginning to become the explorer and the curious observer of your experience. And as old patterns come up, and you'll know they're old patterns because you've heard them your whole life. Doesn't mean they're trusty, it just means they're old patterns. You can come back to your old way of being if this experiment doesn't work. So you just tell your mind, we're experimenting here with Jamie. And as a painful thought or pattern or defense mechanism or program pops into your mind, or an old feeling, no thanks. We're just stopping it in its tracks. I don't want that menu item today. I'm kind of curious about some other internal menu items. And if you'd like, on your own, begin to explore as these old patterns come up. Hey, thanks. I needed you when I was little. Thank you. But I've got this now. I'm an adult. We're safe. We're out of that environment. So no thank you. And then we open our mind. I'm curious. I wonder how real, unprogrammed, true essence me would feel or be or think without needing to fill it in, and your true essence will show you. So on your own, just explore. Thank you. No thank you. I wonder. Just gently resting and being the observer of your internal experience with so much non-judgment and compassion and love. No thanks, old stuff. Just kind of curious what else is in here. I can go back to you at any point I feel unsafe, but just kind of curious to wiggle my way through to new terrain of good, of peace and love and lightness, because that's in there too. And I can't feel that if this is repeating, and I have choice. I have choice in here. In here, I have choice. So thank you. No thanks. Oh, now I wonder how real me feels right now, beyond this pattern. Just gently knowing that you can take this into any moment of your day as you gradually bring yourself back from your healing, your exploration, to the noticing of your body on the ground. Noticing all of those tiny points of contact. I am my own liberation. Feeling the body on the ground. Welcoming yourself back to your breath as you breathe into the belly, into the chest, into the hands and the feet, the head. Deep breath. As you ground more into the body, you begin to place your awareness right behind your eyes. You plant yourself inside of your body. On the furniture, in the room, on the earth. As you take another deep breath into the body, and see if you can experiment and stick with this today. Maybe even just remembering, no thanks, and see what you find on the other side of that. Whenever you feel ready, you can start to wiggle, stretch, sway, move. And then open your eyes to the afternoon whenever you're ready.